those 2's are reducing to just get b times l. And then the volume is the area of the base times the height. So the area of the base is b times l divided by 2 times height. This is area of base, of just one base, times the height. That's always the volume of a prism. Right, so let's calculate the surface area. All right, so the surface area and volume, it says and volume. So we're going to calculate the surface area and volume of this prism right here. So the surface area is equal to step 1, write down your formula. Step 2, sub in your values. Step 3, solve. All right, so we know what A is. So we come look over here, and we can see that this is 6. Over here is going to be 6, and over here is going to be 6. So it's going to be 6 times 12. 12 is our height of our prism. Plus, and then if this is A, and this is B, B is also going to be 6 times H. And this is H. Plus, and then this is C. So again, 6 times 12. Plus, and then base. Okay, so we already had B, and B is 6. But how tall is this? All right, we don't have that measurement, but we do have some things to help us out. So we do know that, I'm going to draw this triangle right here. So this triangle right here is this guy. We know that this is 6. We don't know what this is. And this looks like it's half of it. So if it's half of 6, this would be 3 down here. And if you recall, this would be a 90-degree angle triangle, and we're trying to find one of the unknown side lengths with a 90-degree angle triangle. Okay, think back to elementary school. We haven't looked at this in class yet, but we will. But this is what we call Pythagorean theorem. So we have to use that a squared plus b squared equals c squared formula in order to find an unknown side length of a right angle triangle. The longest side is the hypotenuse, so that is 6. The hypotenuse is always c. And then we can keep any letter we want for, let's say this one's B and this one's A. Doesn't matter which one's which. All right. And since we're looking for the smallest side, that means we're going to be subtracting. Smallest side equals subtracting. So we're going to subtract the 3 squared from 6 squared. Okay, so let's go and do that. 6 times 6 is 36. Again, this is not 6 times 2. 6 times 6 is 36 minus 3 times 3, which gives us 9. So we get 27 there. And do you remember what we have to do here? So this is obviously not 27, right? That's not a height of 27, especially if that's 12. We have to do something with the 27. Hopefully you remember it. It's take the square root. It's the opposite of the square is the square root. So we get 5.2 centimeters. Okay, that makes sense because it's smaller than the longest side. So we're going to multiply it by 5.2. Okay, let's go do that. So we're going to put each individual one together. We're going to put this one together, this one together, this one together, and this one together, and then add them all up. So 6 times 12 is 72. And let's go do 6 times 5.2. We get 31.2. And then we're going to add them all up. And please try this and make sure it's correct. I believe we should get 247.2. What's the units? Is it centimeters? Nope, it's meters cubed squared. All right. 2 more examples and then we'll check out day 8. All right, we have a surface area of, well, this time we're looking at a cylinder. We've already checked out the volume of a cylinder. Remember the area of the base times the height. So the base is pi r squared times h. There we go, that's our volume. But now we have to go figure out the surface area. Let's look at the net. So the surface would mean like the area of the circle. Okay, so that's pi r squared. That's one circle. We also have another circle here, so that's another pi r squared. So we've got the top, we've got the bottom, and this is the everything around the outside. So we can see that the height here is going to be h. But what's around a circle? What's the dimensions around a circle? It's 2 pi r. It's the circumference. The dimensions are the perimeter around a circle is the circumference. So this space right here is the circumference times the height. All right, so let's go put the formula together. We've got 2 circles, so 2 pi r squared. There's 2 circles plus, and then we need this area here, so length times width. So 2 pi r times h. That's the length, or that's the whatever space. This is, you can say length or width, but this is this one times this one. Length times width. Great. And that's our surface area. All right, so let's go use that formula to calculate the surface area of a cylinder that has a radius. So r is 5 and a height of 2. Leave your answer as exact answer with approximately round to 1 decimal place. Okay. So we have surface area is equal to, that's our step 1, is to write down the formula. 2 pi, what's r here? Is it 2 or 5? It's 5. So 5 squared plus 2 pi, what's r again? R again is 5, and what's height is 2. There we go. This is a calculator question. I'm going to go type that into our Desmos calculator. So here we had 2 pi. I'm going to hit the 5 button, bracket 5. Here's our squared plus 2 again, pi, bracket. I'm going to leave the brackets, but that just means multiplication. Great, that's it. I'm going to look over here, and it's 219 point, and it said only 1 decimal place, so 219.91. No, we're just going to leave it with a 9. And it's centimeters. Is it centimeters? Yep, it's centimeters. Is it squared or cube? Squared. This area. And we have one last one. It is an EQAO example. So this is right from an EQAO question. We have a cylinder has a volume of 200 centimeters cubed and a diameter. Well, wherever we see diameter, we've got to change it, right? Diameter is 12. What does that mean for the radius? What do you think the radius is? Hopefully you guessed it, it's 6, right? Half of the diameter is the radius. We're always going to be working with the radius way more than the diameter. Okay, so we know the volume of a cylinder. The cylinder looks like this. The volume is always the area of the base times the height. So the base is pi r squared times h. We're given the volume, so we can throw that in as 200. We know pi is just a number, 3.14159, continues on. We also know that our radius is 6. Here we got 6, so we can put 6 in for r. But do we know the height? No, we're trying to find the height, so h right here. Right, this is super similar to a question we already did, but in this case we have pi here too. All right, well, let's put the numbers together that we know. Well, 200 is hanging out by itself, but we could put pi and 6 squared together. 6 squared is just 36. So 36 times pi. Okay, let's go figure that out. Pi times 36 times h. All right, so that's 200 is equal to, let's do pi times 36. we get 113 point, let's round that to a 1. So 113.1 times height. So this is still, our h is still here, multiplying by h. All right, just like that question beforehand too, where I had like 8 is equal to 2 times what? And we're like, oh, it's 4 because 8 divided by 2 is 4. Same thing here. We're going to divide this by 113.1. Divide by 113.1. We get 1 point, it's rounded to the 1 decimal place, 1.8. So h is equal to 1.8 centimeters. All right, that's it. And we're going to move on to day 8. If you have any questions, just let me know about day 7.